Views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users. On demand on iTunes and on YouTube, and on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you're encouraged to post your comments, whether you agree with yours truly or not. No retribution. And boy, we may have had a record number of comments today on the second story of today's show. Second topic of today's show. We'll get to that at the bottom of the hour. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated to an additional 12 million households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. I welcome you to the show. Well, you know, it's not often that one talk show host has another as a guest on his show. But when I heard about what happened to Rusty Humphries, you all know him. He's a nationally syndicated radio talk show host. He's on 250 radio stations across the United States through the Talk Radio Network. I said, I got to get this guy on News Talk Online to talk to my audience. Rusty Humphries has a fatwa on his head. His picture has been published on the internet. His route to work has been published on the internet. They want Rusty Humphries dead. Rusty Humphries, when I heard about this, when our good mutual friend Aaron Klein at WorldNet Daily broke this story, I said, what the hell did Rusty Humphries say this time to get him in such a mess of trouble? And then I find out they're not putting a fatwa on your head for what you did. They're putting a fatwa on your head for what somebody else did. What the hell's going on, Rusty? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gary. What they actually did is they kind of took a little bit of what I did and a little bit of what somebody else did, and they combined them. So it's the one big hatred guy to hate. Basically, there's a website called the Jew Report. And I'm not Jewish, but okay, you want to throw me in there, that's fine. But the headline is, Rusty Humphries, a.k.a. Rusty Shackelford's days are numbered. So they've kind of put a conspiracy together that in the daytime I'm a talk show host, and at nighttime I run a website where I go and I shut down extremist Muslim blogs, okay? But what's interesting about that is that leads me, when you start off with a conspiracy, I start going, wait a second, there could be something to this that makes it a little bit more dangerous. Because when you spend a lot of time overseas, and I've been to Israel 7 times in the Palestinian areas, and I met with the terrorists, I've been to Guantanamo, and I've been to Iraq and Afghanistan, they love conspiracies, and the bigger the conspiracy, the more they like it. You want to hear my favorite one?
Totally.
All right, it was this. It was the Jew. And by the way, not the Jews, the Jew. It was the Jew that sent Monica Lewinsky into Bill Clinton so the Jews could run America.
Marvelous. That's a good one. That's a great one.
And it's not like just like 1 or 2 people will believe that. It's like 90%. I mean, it's like everybody believes. Of course, the Jews sent Monica Lewinsky into Bill Clinton. Of course they did. Of course.
Nice.
And guys like you and me that actually are use reason and logic, that's just silly. But to them, it's of course it's just the sun's going to rise, the sun's going to set, and the Jews run Monica Lewinsky.
Now I have been using the term they. Could you tell us, Rusty Humphries, who they are who issued this fatwa?
Well, we don't know everything about this particular person, but we do know he goes by Musab. Musab, as we understand, is part of the Irish Mujahideen.
The Irish Mujahideen.
Yeah. Well, and people laugh about that, but you think about it, though, we do know that Europe has become much more tolerant to extremist views, and these guys can run very extreme websites and messages from anywhere in the world, including America, and they're directing people in America towards pro-Al-Qaeda websites and actions, and we don't know what kind of reach this Musab has, but we do know that he is connected to a number of Al-Qaeda, pro-Al-Qaeda related websites.
So what's being done to catch him, and what's being done to protect you?
Well, I can't talk actually much about either one of those because there's stuff going on, and I don't want And Musab, I hope you're listening right now. I hope you're listening to us here on Paltalk, because we're coming for you, brother. We're coming for you. And you can threaten me, and you can threaten Rusty Shackelford, and you can threaten my daughters, but don't worry, you don't scare me. And
they threaten your daughters? They threaten your daughters as well?
Not yet, but I mean, we have not in this particular one, but I've had it on other things. But this one bothered me more. This one, again, what they're trying to do is they thought they could shut up Michael Savage, for example, in the UK. They could shut him down. So now we've got the UK, we've got Ireland. They think they're going to shut down Rusty Humphries. Now, Michael Savage was easy because he's a guy that's got very powerful views, very strong views. He's very forceful. I'm one of the nice guys. So if you can shut down Michael Savage and then shut down a nice guy like Rusty Humphries, man, everybody in between, they're just next.
Now, Rusty, if this guy is in Ireland, and maybe he's not, but if he is in Ireland, presumably he is in a country, I mean, he's not like he's in Somalia where we can't get to him, where he potentially can be arrested for threatening and trying to get people to kill you.
Again, you know, it's interesting. I had the local police come by, and I showed them this, and they said, well, you know, that could be anybody. It says Rusty Humphries. Well, yeah, well, it could be any Rusty Humphries. It has my picture. Yeah, well, there's no threat. Okay, it says here, his fat, rotten torso will be dumped in the side of the road or in some Florida swamp. Or the Shabab and Muslim leaders have said enough is enough, he has to go, and they don't mean move. Well, yeah, that could mean anything. Okay, Barney Fife, get out of my house and say hi to Andy on your way home. But, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that they're hiding behind, and to be honest, very disappointed in some of the way law enforcement have been reacting to this.
Well, the problem is that local law enforcement is ill-equipped to deal with international terrorist threats. I mean, they may know what to do if they show up on their doorstep, but they don't know how to investigate something like this.
Of course, but there's certain steps you have to take. You got to go through the local guys and then the state guys. They get to the federal guys. Is what seems to be the way it works.
Well, these guys who you were dealing with obviously just didn't want to go through all that trouble because it's going to take them off the street or away from the Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know which in the case of these guys, but you know, when there's a threat on somebody's life, you know, they're idiots because when it comes to anyone, but especially somebody as high profile as you, if they walk away from it and God forbid something happens, I think their butt's going to be in the ringer as a result of that. Let's go to some calls because I know we only have you for the first half hour of the show and they are lined up to talk to you. Let's go to Cassandra in the UK. Cassandra, I know you've had to be concerned about the IRA in the past, but the Irish Mujahideen, have you heard of that over there in the UK? Welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Thank you, Gary, and hello, Rusty.
Hey.
No, I hadn't heard of the Irish Mujahideen. I shall most certainly look out for them now. Yet another potential threat. Well, Rusty, I come from the land of